welcome back to the Prairie Puck Boys podcast. How are you guys?
We're good. We're good.
I'm so bored. I have never been this bored in my entire life. I'm so bored.
No, it's definitely hard. It's
Yeah.
definitely been hard right now just because we can't get jobs out of our field right now just because nobody's open right now. It's just ridiculous.
Well, that and we can't graduate right now either because nobody knows what's going on with any of our practicums.
That is also true.
The locked up in the house, can't see the friends. Like you're just like we're
Dude, this sucks.
time to get to see each other. Like this, it kind of sucks.
This sucks. Yeah, Justin and Mike moved back home. Yeah, they left us.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I think we should.
Understandable.
Tyler never left his home.
Yeah.
Business as usual, boys.
Yeah. Business is booming, boys.
So to start off, let's catch up with our lives a bit. Mike, let's start with you.
I moved back to Calgary. I've been here for 4 days now, I think. So it's
I like your Avengers poster.
oh yeah, for sure. My Avengers poster. Yeah.
Quick shout out to the Avengers.
But yeah, I moved home. I've been here for 4 days. It's been nice to have home cooking, other than me making frozen foods all the time. It's super nice. So being back is good. But the fact that I can't go anywhere is kind of boring. Like I can't go see my girlfriend, for example, or anything like that. I can't go see Justin in High River. So yeah, it's been a rough couple of days here to try and find things to do, and been catching up on NHL and NBA 2K here.
Tyler, are you a lizard?
No. Let's move on to Justin.
Okay.
Things have been pretty chaotic for me. I had 2 days to figure out that I was moving back to High River, so I had to pack my entire apartment in 2 days and get it cleaned out. But we got back to High River, and a little shitty. Smells like cow poop all the time. No, I'm just kidding.
Sounds like Lethbridge.
Yeah, it does sound like
I was going to say, it doesn't sound like you left.
Yeah. But I mean, I wish it was more like Mike's, where I could say that I'm getting home cooked meals, but I'm cooking home cooked meals. So it's kind of off and on, but I get to see my dog again, so that's kind of cool. Worth it. Tyler,
Tyler, you want to go next?
What have I been doing? I've been playing a lot of PS4 and been sleeping a lot. My sleeping schedule has been entirely fucked.
Yep.
I'm going to try not to swear, but yeah, it's been entirely fucked. Yeah, I've been home with my brothers. They've been annoying the fuck out of me. Business as usual. My mom's good cooking. And yeah, that's about it.
All right, Josh, you're last.
I'm so bored. Really nothing to update from me. I've just been sticking around. I have my new, I guess, social distancing task has been to go through every Marvel movie, and I did that. So now I went through every Star Wars movie, and I did that. And now I'm going through every WrestleMania. So I am so bored. I am ridiculously bored.
what the fuck is going on in the bottom left of my screen with Tyler? Tyler, what was that?
Tyler's just making faces. He's trying to.
You know we're gonna see all of this, right?
I don't care.
All right. Well,
All right. So we'll get started here. How have we survived without hockey?
I haven't.
Yeah.
Straight up haven't.
Same
Right.
answer for me with my little life update. I've just been watching other stuff. I finally have time to watch wrestling, which is super awesome because I haven't actually gotten to watch wrestling in forever. But at the same time, it kind of sucks because I'm just at home.
yeah, no, I've been trying to play NHL games, and I've been trying to keep up with it in different ways. But I think that being able to change it up and play different sports games have been something I've been trying to do. Once in a while, it does get a little boring playing NHL all the time, so that's what I've been kind of doing.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
to a certain extent, it's not like that bad because, like, if you still go on to TSN and Sportsnet and stuff like that, they still have.
Oh yeah, they're still showing stuff.
Yeah, it's just like reruns from the past and stuff like that. Like,
Yeah.
like the other day, they had a whole day designated to like Canada's gold medal there with Sidney Crosby and the golden goal, and
Yeah.
they had like interviews done with like Sidney Crosby and Jerome McGinley and all those guys that were on the team, and it's kind of cool to look back at those moments that we remember from like where we were at the time that Crosby
honestly,
kind of thing, and look back at it on TV now and see that we're still talking about it now, and it's like 10 years later or something like that.
Yeah.
So
to add on to that too, like from a media perspective, the fact that it just stopped and they still have to think of ways to like put new content out, and they're going back in time, interviewing, getting perspectives from like key moments in hockey history. It's been kind of interesting to watch.
Yeah, I think
100%.
I think all the sports leagues have done a great job of doing that. I know baseball's been doing it, and the NBA's been doing it. I think all these leagues are just doing a great job of still putting out content, even though they can't play the games per se. And I think that's just been a huge thing for them so far here.
Well, and like things like social media and things like the Zoom calls here make it so much easier. Like media, especially. Like you can reach out to the players that are locked up in their own houses and their training and stuff, and like
that's what they've been doing too, right?
Yeah, they have been doing that, and it's kind of cool to see how like everything's changed over the last like 2 weeks due to this stuff and how crazy it's got.
A little bit of cutout. Sorry, this is off topic, but did you? One thing I've been loving lately is all these. I don't know like the legitimacy of it. Ooh, big word. But I saw one where it was like David Dobrik joins a university classes Zoom online class. And, like nobody knew until he started talking. I thought that one was great.
What happened there? Okay, wait. So him and his friends started one for that. And then one of his friends accidentally gave out the room code and people joined. The other one, that wasn't David Dobrik. That was Kyle Fordyard from Nelk.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, he joined there and he started like yelling on the mic, telling his mom to do his laundry.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I saw that one.
But what was I gonna say?
Did you guys see the?
What was Justin just talking about? Hold on.
I don't know.
I was talking about like social media and stuff and how people are getting Zoom calls for athletes.
Yeah. Oh yeah, fuck! You guys, let's bring this back to like a Edmonton Calgary perspective. David and Giordano were in the same call with the media. I wonder if that was a little awkward.
I don't know. At this point, I feel like all the rivals have kind of been put behind because it's kind of a bigger issue at the time that they need to talk about. Obviously, those two have some pretty heated pasts with Gio kind of going after him a couple of times now, and the big injury to his clavicle a couple of years back. But no, I think at the end of the day, like they just want to play hockey.
Yeah, honestly,
that's all they're waiting for. And if this is a way to get back in touch with that hockey world, they're going to do it. And every player think that way. You'll see rivalries kind of take a pause, I think, in this one. Like, I think like the Ovechkin Crosby kind of thing, like people are going to look at that more and over the years because now like Ovechkin was so close to breaking another record and now he doesn't have like that kind of season.
Yeah, coincidentally though, this is also time off he can take to recuperate and retrain that could give him another year in the future to go for that.
Oh yeah, for sure. But, no, it's just kind of cool to see all those different players kind of communicating off the ice. Mm-hmm. And that's something that we don't usually get to see with a lot of NHL and a lot of just national sports to begin with. Like you don't see basketball players talking to other basketball players just on the regular, right? Like that's all hidden stuff. And now that it's all the Zoom calls and stuff like that, we kind of get to see it a bit more. So I don't know. Hockey world is still alive.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I find it funny that 12 hours after Canada canceled hockey that we had treatments already like ready to go and for testing and stuff.
Yeah, that's right.
12 hours of no hockey gets going.
Yeah.
All right, boys, no hockey. All right, let's get this thing going. Get this shit out of here.
Sorry, before we move on, one thing that's great about that is about what Justin was talking about the Zoom calls with all the players. It's one thing that's super successful with the NHL and going back to WWE, but WWE especially too, is a lot of the time we don't get to see all these super athletes as people. Right?
Yeah.
Like we don't get to see them be people. We only get to see Connor McDavid play, center for the Edmonton Oilers and
he's a pretty private guy.
A year. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We only get to see him making $14 million a year playing hockey. We don't get to see him being Connor McDavid in his living room with his dog, right? So that's why I personally love the behind the scenes stuff that a lot of these associations have been pumping out.
I just like how funny a lot of the players are being on social media and stuff like that. Like
Yeah.
Svechnikov the other day that was flipping pancakes with his hockey
Yeah.
and stuff like that. Like, it's just the funny stuff like that the athletes, they have time to just dick around. Like, they have time to mess around, have fun, and film stupid videos, and they're using their time wisely. And it just shows that they're not superheroes. They're not gods. They're just regular people that, like, at the end of the day, they're regular, same as me and you. Like, kind of cool to see that side of things.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to this next topic here. What will happen when or if the NHL comes back this season?
If it
I'll
comes
start.
Yeah.
It's not coming back. It's not coming back.
If it does, I think it will come back in like June, August, July area.
Not enough time for.
They want to award the cup, and they're gonna do it regardless. I think.
I don't,
all right.
You can't go the year without awarding the cup.
Yeah.
If they don't give the cup,
Think about it from like a money perspective too. That's almost like $1 billion in revenue that they're losing out on.
Well, I think if it is to come in back, like the NHL is to come back into play, I think it'll be like close to summertime for sure. It'll be, if not midsummer. And I think when they do come back in, it'll be kind of the regulations that they were going to set before they canceled, with not allowing fans into the building. And it'll just be an empty building with the teams playing, which, I mean, I'd take that. No hockey. 100 any day of the week. I'd take it. But
well, I mean, let's look at it from a wrestling perspective too, Josh.
Oh yeah.
I watched that SmackDown with no fans and 2 commentators and a camera crew. Are they still doing that? Is it still going like that? How is that looking?
As the professional wrestling expert of our podcast, woohoo! I'm glad Justin got a kick out of that. It's crazy. So literally, this Sunday is probably, this is going to be one of the biggest wrestling shows like of all time, because this is the biggest wrestling show of the year. No ifs, ands, or buts. WrestleMania is the number 1 show of the year. You don't bring over your friends to go watch Wrestle Kingdom at 4 a.m. In Japan. Maybe I do that, but you guys might not, right? But so the crazy thing about this is it's been a consecutive event for 36 years now. And they book out these massive football stadiums. Like they had a couple years ago in Dallas, they were at Cowboys Stadium. They put 102,000 people in the stadium. And now they're moving all of the WrestleMania production into their performance center in Orlando in front of no one. They're pre-taping matches already. Like, I think day 1 has already been taped already. So 1, for the first time in 36 years, it's not going to be live. 2, for the first time in 36 years, there's going to be no one in attendance. So it's crazy. I don't know. I think they're kind of mental for doing the show must go on thing.
Definitely.
But I've also been there. I know we got to pull through anyways. But the one thing I will say though is that I can't imagine working your entire life. For a lot of these guys too, this is gonna be their first WrestleMania, and they've worked their entire lives for this moment, and it's going to be in front of no one. So it's crazy.
Mike?
I think if it does come back, and it does come back for a playoff run, I think it's going to be probably the most entertaining playoff run there's going to be. Like, everybody has this rest going on, and with this rest, everybody's going to come back fresh. I think that no athlete's going to take this not seriously and, like, eat a lot of food, for example, like we would, for example. I think that a lot of us don't realize that they're still training and they're still getting themselves ready to go for this playoff run if it happens.
Speak for yourself. Phil Kessel is living his best life.
Oh, he's
always
back hot dogs, man.
Hold on. To be fair, Phil Kessel's not in the playoffs right now, I don't think.
Yeah.
Who was it? Friedman? Friedman had suggested the really interesting playoff format that I personally...
I hate it.
I
fucking hate it.
Which one was
that? He suggested one where it was like all the teams that are in a playoff race will play each other, and then the winner of that will move on into like the actual playoffs, and then do, say, a best of 5. I think it was. I don't know it off my hand, like by heart, but it was really interesting. I really liked the idea of a best of 5, honestly.
Best of 5 is fine. 24 teams, I would rather
Oh,
not
okay,
do
yeah.
that.
They're not going to do 24 teams. I tell you that right now.
I think the playoffs have to be structured the way that they're usually structured, like with the wild card and everything like that. But I feel like if they do come back, they're not going to have enough time to finish the season. Like, there's no
definitely.
finish the season. They'll jump straight into playoffs, and in my mind, it's just going to be the same as it usually is. It'll just maybe be a best of 5 instead because they don't have as much time. And there might not be the 2-day breaks in between random series, and people might not wait for, like, if 2 series from the Pacific Division are done, I feel like they're just going to start the second series, even if the first series isn't done. Like, if there's still teams playing in the first round, I think they'll start second round just for it to go faster. But it's hard to say. Because, like, if one game goes to 5, but the other one goes to 3, like, it's kind of hard to say how they're gonna essentially make the playoffs happen, but still give the players a rest before next season.
Yeah.
Because if they don't get a rest for next season, then that's it.
This season has been This season's been wild too, because like there's such a close playoff race, like all across the board. So what are you doing?
I want to say this was a nice segue into our next question.
Oh,
what
okay.
were the best storylines of this season so far, in your opinion?
Wait.
Elvis and Columbus. Love that.
Before we talk about this,
okay,
can we touch on, does anyone have a playoff bracket? If it was to start today, who would be playing who?
Yes, right now I can tell you.
I can do it on.
All right.
Because
we'll take a quick 5 to look at all of our phones.
Hold on, I can do this right now. Ready?
All
right. So Eastern first round, the first matchup would be Boston versus Columbus.
Okay.
You're on the score app, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, same.
Second one would be Tampa Bay versus Toronto. And then it'd be Washington, Carolina. And then Philadelphia, Pittsburgh.
Oh, love that.
Oh, I love that.
Love that, yeah.
And then in the West, it would be St. Louis, Nashville.
Okay.
Colorado, Dallas.
Okay.
Winnipeg versus Vegas.
No. Oh, yeah. Yep. Love that.
Calgary, Edmonton.
Edmonton. Okay. No way.
Okay.
That would be so.
All right, boys. Let's cut the regular season. We're going right into playoffs. We don't need to decide a thing.
Dude, imagine if it was that. Like, imagine if none of this coronavirus happened and it just happened to be best of 7, first round, Calgary, Edmonton.
I think all of us are going to spend the.
I'm taking Edmonton the whole way there.
Me too.
Edmonton.
Not expect that answer.
I'm going.
I think it'll be close. I think that one's going to 7.
Oh yeah,
6 or 7 for sure.
7. Yeah.
I don't know.
I think between McDavid and Draisaitl, they have like enough scoring abilities between the two of them to take it out. But I don't know what it is. Edmonton just hasn't played good against Calgary this year.
It's true.
Save for that last game. I don't even remember that game.
Yeah. Oh, I remember that.
Oh, we remember that game.
No, like the goalie fight? Yeah, nothing in that game mattered except for the goalie fight.
And that fucking stop and the whole goddamn game.
Oh, yeah. Tyler getting Justin a noise complaint.
Yeah.
Holding back every drink he has. You slammed like 8 of them, didn't you?
I almost finished my bottle of Pink Whitney.
Man. That was awesome. That was a good time.
That was good. But no, that would be I think all around just a good playoffs. Like there's good matchups in there. Even like Carolina, Washington, that would be good.
Again?
That was a good series last year.
Yeah, that'd be good to watch.
Winnipeg, Vegas sounds
Toronto
insane.
Final doesn't have to take Boston on first round.
And I think they might get through
Toronto
Tampa
wasn't even
potentially.
Was it?
They haven't lost to Tampa this season yet.
Not to mention they're fresh too.
Oh, sorry, they have. Tampa beat them earlier in the season. Toronto's won the last 2 meetings.
Where's Vancouver?
They're 1 point behind.
Okay, listen here. That last game between Winnipeg and Edmonton that Winnipeg beat us, that pushed Vancouver out by 1 point.
Suck.
Sucks to suck, Canucks fans. I'm not upset about it. I hate Vancouver.
When was, Mike, I think it was the last podcast we recorded. What did I say about the Canucks?
You said that, to be fair, they didn't collapse per se. Just other teams kind of got better.
But at the same time, they were riding Markstrom's coattails until he got hurt.
Demko.
Demko's good, but they still
Yeah.
are playing at the level they were with Markstrom.
Well, that was the
Demko's
same.
good,
That was
but he's not going to be what he's going to be.
that's
He's not what he is going to be, right?
that's the same with
Demko's gonna
Arizona
be
too,
real.
eh?
Yeah.
Mhm.
They played through Kemper, and if Kemper got hurt, which he did, and that kind of dropped them out of the playoffs, and now they're
Yeah.
sitting 6 points.
Arizona's had another problem though. They can't score.
Didn't Ranta come back though? Like
Yeah, he
before the
was
season
playing
got
very
canceled?
good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let me ask you this then. With that playoff prediction, who's going to be in the final? What's the 2 teams in the final?
Vegas,
Oh.
Carolina.
Hold
No.
on.
Vegas.
Yeah, me and Josh said that at the beginning of the year, but hold on.
I think
Oh,
with the additions that we made, I might sound stupid here to you guys, but with the additions we made at the trade deadline, I think Pittsburgh's another contender.
I do as well.
yeah.
If
I can see it.
Murray and Jari can hold up their own in the net, we're going.
Yep.
We have
I
no
can see
problem
that.
going with.
I'm gonna give you
Yeah.
mine after Mike gives
Telling
you
you,
his.
Vegas, Carolina, boys. Vegas, Carolina. Telling you.
I'm gonna go with Dallas, and
You motherfucker! That's who I was gonna choose.
oh, you know we're on the same page. I'm gonna go with Dallas and Tampa.
Ah, I do love the Stars though.
I just think their goaltending tandem is too good. I just think that having those 2 goalies with the 920 save percentage and higher is just incredible. They have a 920 from Bishop and a 930 from Hudobin, and I just think
Okay,
the tandem is so good.
I would go with Dallas and. Okay, I'm gonna throw this out. This is gonna be like a whack prediction.
You're
You
gonna
know,
say Philly.
Carolina.
You're gonna say
Dallas.
Philly.
Philadelphia. How the fuck? Come on,
It's pretty wild too. I'm gonna say Colorado, Pittsburgh.
Mike. How the fuck are you getting on my like in my brain right now?
Philly's
Because-
good too.
because
Philly is
you-
a monster, man.
You said a
Kevin Hayes is
surprising.
unreal.
You said surprising team. They just came off a 9-game winning streak. Like
Wait, you said Dallas and Philly?
Yeah, I did.
I literally said the opposite of first round. I said Penguins and Colorado.
Oh, there you go.
Me or Tyler is losing first round.
Yeah.
or yeah, me yeah.
Fuck
All
yeah.
right.
Okay.
We
Well,
can, move to the next
Getting
one.
the dinner call here.
We're still in the storylines. Mike,
Okay.
what's your favorite storyline?
It looks
My
like you just
favorite-
took a swig of pee, Justin. Like honestly, it just looked like you
I did,
peed
it's
in that
fine.
cup. Ah, nice.
Going back to what we were talking about in the Stanley Cup Finals, I think this Philadelphia Flyers team turning it around has been a great storyline.
Yeah.
I think the fact that they've been bad the last couple seasons and now they're putting it back together, Carter Hart's been absolutely fantastic for them. I think the fact that they were able to turn around the way they have been, despite having players like Gothenburg having a bad year and Voracek having a bad first half of the year, but he's really picked it up in the second half. I think being able to have that team come around and now to face a team like Pittsburgh in the playoffs right now, I think that's going to be a fantastic matchup.
That
Yeah.
could go either way, definitely. Another thing, I thought Kevin Hayes' contract that he signed after Philly traded for him around the draft last season was going to be bad. He's fit in perfectly on that team, and the content that he produces, like just with the boys on the bench, is hilarious.
Ooh, Hazy?
Oh yeah,
Oh, boys, did you
He's
see
so
that one?
funny.
Did you see that one video of him? He misses a shot on net. He comes on the bench. He just starts sulking. He's like, I'm the worst player in this league. Did you see that?
I have
me and
seen
Justin would
Unreal.
say that to each other when we played too.
that. 100%.
Yeah.
I should retire.
My best storyline's a little weird because I think for me the best storyline would be the amount of injuries that happened this year in what we've had this season.
Yeah.
And just in the terms of with the amount of injuries that we've had, we've seen a lot of young players get their chance at the show, and we've seen a lot of young players like Yamamoto on Edmonton that have just
Thank you.
come out of nowhere and have just been absolutely terrific, like amazing.
Yeah,
I have something to add to that. Speaking of injuries, fresh off of their very first Stanley Cup win, the St. Louis Blues, Vladimir Tarasenko, out for the season, right? When is he going to come back? Playoffs? We'll see. Season got canceled. Did Tarasenko play at all this season?
not yet. He was on his way back. He was just about
Yeah.
ready to play.
Yeah.
So I think that's quite unfortunate for St. Louis.
It's
They
not
still
necessarily canceled though. He'll be ready.
No,
If he
yeah.
loses
Oh
it.
yeah, if
He'll be
yeah.
ready when they go.
Yeah.
See, I
But
think
how unfortunate was that for St. Louis? I mean, they still managed to find success. Don't get me wrong; they're still really
Damn
good.
team.
But their main guy, Tarasenko, was out for the entire year.
See, I'm gonna stop you there. I don't think he's their main guy.
I don't either.
Who do you think is their guy?
Ryan O'Reilly, hands
Okay.
down.
100%
Okay.
Ryan
Yeah.
O'Reilly.
Yeah, you're right.
Or Alex Pietrangelo. You go with that number one defenseman or your number one center. They carry your team. The number one winner is expendable if you have.
man, they got to
Yeah.
pay Pietrangelo this summer though.
Which is why, if we relate back to your Flames, I'm never sold on Johnny as your top player.
Oh god.
Neither am I.
Well, okay. Let me ask you this then. Obviously, we didn't have a full season, but what did you guys feel? How did you feel that Binnington played this year compared to the amazing season that he had last year, coming in about halfway to 3/4 through and winning the Stanley Cup?
All right, as the goalie guy.
The goalie kid.
Obviously, he was never going to even touch the debut that he had last year, right? How many games did he win in a row? Like 10 or 12? There's some unreal stat that he did, like X amount of shutouts, whatever. I don't have it on me. But obviously, there was no way he was even going to come close to touching that again.
Yeah.
Playoffs, he was kind of like – he was kind of on and off during playoffs, wasn't he?
Oh, no.
No, he was
No,
unreal.
I might be
playoffs.
thinking of the wrong guy. I'm probably thinking of the wrong guy then.
I think he had like 2 bad games in the conference final.
Oh, yes. Yeah, you're right. Against Dallas,
Because Dallas,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty bad.
Okay.
But other than that, he
It was bad. He only allowed 3 goals. It was
Yeah,
bad.
yeah. He's an NHL level goalie. Oh, he let in 3 goals. Must suck. Right, as we sit here, like I'm sitting in my parents' basement. No, I kid. Yeah, he wasn't going to touch what he did last season. It was his second year in the league. I think he was good for his second year in the league. Was he 25 too?
Something like that.
Yeah.
oh my God.
So, I don't know. I thought he was fine.
All right, Tyler, you can say what you want to say.
Is Tyler just going to completely rip what I said to shreds?
No, I'm just really picky. They would have had the base St. Louis in the semis, not conference.
Oh yeah.
Oh
Who did
yeah.
they play in the conference? Colorado,
San
right?
San Jose.
No,
San
San
Jose.
Jose. That's
Colorado
right.
got beat by San Jose in 7 games.
Right.
Was that?
Okay, I guess this is my. Go ahead, sorry.
Was this last year or 2 years ago? Was that crazy?
Last year.
No,
Oh,
that was 2 years.
Last
Which
year was
game are you
the
talking about?
crazy
What's that
took.
game?
And San
Yeah.
Jose had the 5-goal comeback.
Yeah, that was last year. Game
Last
7
year.
against Vegas.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that was Vegas. Yeah. I that's why I stopped at the beginning. I was like, I'm pretty sure that was Vegas.
Yeah, that was a really good series too.
That was a good series. That's always a good series. Whenever
Even
like regular season, I love watching those games.
who picked Vegas again out of us 4? They could go deep too.
Vegas,
This is
Carolina.
why I love the NHL.
Vegas,
playoffs.
Carolina.
Well, that's the thing, because everybody's going to be healthy too. Because like all the teams are going to be full strength. We're finally going to see like an NHL 20 type simulation here. I don't want to say it like that, but like we're finally going to have every single team healthy, if possible. Like all these players are going to come back healthy and stronger than ever. And I think that's why it's going to be an entertaining series in every single league. This coronavirus thing could be a burden to some, but like for these NHL leagues and everything, it's going to be something that's fantastic.
Oh yeah. How many guys do you think are coming off the like ridiculous road trips, just sitting at home being like, "Thank God for this."
I think it's going to be one of the fastest, hard-hitting playoffs if it does happen, in my mind. Just with the amount of rest that they've had, I think the first game for each series is going to be a little slow, just based off the fact that it'll be the first game that they have back.
Yeah, and then they haven't played in a month too.
Yeah, like look at the beginning of the season. Obviously, the first game of the season is not going to be the fastest one of the season. And I don't think it's going to be the fastest one of the playoffs by any means. But I think by game 3 in each game 2, 3 in each series, it's going to be quick.
Mm.
It's
So,
going to be.
Do you think if they do have a playoff, do you think the victory will be tarnished?
No,
Whoever
God, no.
wins?
No.
No,
Not
I
at
don't
all.
think so.
If anything, it will be the opposite of that because all the players are fresh and ready to go. So it'll be the toughest playoff series ever.
Okay.
For the teams that didn't make it, like Vancouver, who got kicked out on the last.
Yeah, by 1 point.
Chance. Yeah, without a fighting chance to
Yeah.
make us. I think for them, it sucks, but
I have a proposal for this exact reason of teams having that last game kind of like screwing them type of thing.
I thought you were going to stop after you said proposal. I was like, Mike, you're getting married?
I have the proposal of each team's around 68 to 72 games-ish. I think they should get each team to 72 games, and then every single team has the same amount of games played, and everyone has a chance to kind of come back and make the playoffs, and it's 3 games to kind of warm up.
Tyler has a question.
Most teams are at 71 already.
Well, yeah, they play their 1 game and they're done.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, then why even play that 1 game?
Well, at least it's –
okay. You know what we should do?
Yeah, because that's not fair at that point.
Yeah. If we're going
to
do
that.
Go to
76.
If we're going to do that.
That's too many games, though.
If we do that, get every team that's already like mathematically eliminated, they can't make the playoffs in however many games we have left, right? Just call her quits. Call her done. Call her here for those guys, right? Get all the teams like Vancouver got bumped out by 1 point. As much as I hate Vancouver and I never want to see their team get success, they still deserve a shot. They got pushed out by 1 point because was it Edmonton lost to Winnipeg?
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. So have every team play to that 70. What do we decide?
72, 76.
72, 76.
I feel like if you're going to go to 76,
you might as well just go the whole season. Yeah.
Extra games on top.
How are you going to fit that, though? How are you going to fit that into the
Exactly.
schedule?
That's why I just said to 72. It's only 1 or 2 games to warm up and get the amount of points you need.
Yeah.
Unless you're playing, every team is playing back-to-back games. And then a day off, back-to-back, day off, back-to-back.
Yeah.
That's a lot of hockey.
That would be a ton of hockey.
They'd be fucking exhausted when the playoffs.
Yeah. Well, that's the other thing, too, is you don't want to kill the players before playoffs, before they kill each other in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going to choose 2 storylines for mine. First one would be the emergence of Leon Draisaitl is arguably a top 5 player in the league.
Okay.
Yep. He's gotten to that point. It's not a case between McDavid and Matthews anymore. It's Draisaitl over Matthews at this point. You can't compare.
Yeah, you're right.
Just as a base, he doesn't even get to play with McDavid on a line anymore.
If you talk to
he's running his own shit.
They'll say the opposite.
Yeah, but they're also a Leafs fan.
They're also Leafs.
Right?
Don't get me wrong.
What's going on up in the brain?
Yeah.
Matthews is an elite goal scorer.
100%.
100%.
Not real.
Yeah.
The assist, he's not the best playmaker, though.
No, he's not a good player.
He's a secondary assist player, yeah.
Just see what Draisaitl has done and how he's played this season. He's a top 5 player in the league. My second one would be, if you look at Colorado, Pittsburgh, injuries to their stars the entire season, and they're still here.
Yeah.
And once they get healthy for these playoffs, once they do come back, and I'm going to make that prediction, they are coming back. Watch out.
Yeah.
Or even Edmonton missing McDavid for a little bit, too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I think one of the best potential storylines in my mind, too, is Patrick Marleau going to the Penguins. I think if Penguins can pull it off and get him his cup, that's a great storyline. That's a guy that's been in the league for such a long time, and it's never had the opportunity to hoist up the cup. And it's just that's one of those. It's the same feeling when you saw Ovi lift the cup for the first time.
Yeah.
Everyone got shivers when you see Ovi pick up the cup for the first time and him screaming. Everyone got shivers. That and
I bet you he also got shivers when he was rolling around in the fountain.
Yeah. I bet you that was pretty cold in there, actually. Yeah.
I feel bad for Jumbo.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Is it my turn?
Yeah, it's your turn,
Justin. Okay. All right. One thing that nobody talked about was Columbus.
That's what I want.
I want to talk about Columbus. Oh, my email's going off here. I want to talk about Columbus because Columbus, holy man, did they get kicked in the dick over the offseason last year, right? Bobrovsky leaves. Duchesne leaves. Panarin leaves. How are these guys ever going to have a chance to win, right? Beginning of the season, they still find some success. Then Elvis, the greatest goalie in Columbus history of all time, right, hops in there, gets, 4 shutouts in a row?
Yeah.
Am I wrong? 4?
Yeah. Tyler looks so confused.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm exaggerating.
Yeah, don't disrespect Bob like that.
Obviously, I'm exaggerating.
Honestly,
but people were talking about giving him at least a Vezina vote, and he only played for 10 games. No, I'm not even wrong. I'm not wrong. It was in talks.
Yeah, but that's vastly overrated.
Oh, yeah, I agree. But I'm just saying that people said it, right?
Definitely. I don't agree with those people whatsoever.
Yeah,
I don't either. He hasn't played enough games.
Yeah.
You need a season sample size.
I'm still saying, though. Kid played unreal.
Oh, definitely. But I think that's more of a system approach as well.
Oh, yeah.
Tortorella's got them playing the structured system that they don't need these start. Like, I think the only true player that they're missing from that team last year is Panarin.
Yeah.
Duchesne, bad season. He got his money. He went where he wanted to. Hasn't done jack shit.
Yep.
Bobrovsky, he's basically getting outplayed by Chris Driedger, whoever the fuck that is.
Yeah.
Sam Montembeau, and whoever the hell the goalies are. But still, it just shows they were finding Columbus, but that might have been the product of the system. Panarin was a game breaker that hurts to lose, but he was going to a big market anyways.
Yeah. I guess second one I would talk about is Battle of Alberta.
Yeah, Battle of
I
Alberta.
don't really need to say anything about that.
Yeah, it was a crazy.
Mike, do you want to continue?
I was
going to say Columbus and Battle of Alberta.
No. I have something else to talk about. So if you guys want to keep talking about Battle of Alberta, go for it.
I don't know.
Crazy series.
I don't even really know what there is to talk about it anymore.
Yeah. Okay, so I'll move on then. I'm going to go with the emergence of the New York Rangers in a way. I think that this team's been fantastic. Tony DeAngelo has been fantastic. Sabinajad has been fantastic. Adam Fox has been pretty good for them. I think that the fact that they've been able to continuously...
What are you showing us?
What are you showing us?
Spitting Chicklets is live streaming NHL 20.
Oh, nice.
Welcome back to the Trailer Puck Boy, or the Prairie Puck Boys, pardon me. We are now a podcast where we just talk about chicklets.
Your mic is complete trash.
I know, I'm sorry.
I'm
using my
just going back
headphones.
to it. The fact that this team has been able to win as much as they have been and kind of accelerated their rebuild in a way just by making those two signings of Trouba and Panarin, and then they've been so good. And Lundqvist has kind of fallen off a cliff a little bit. They've been able to adjust a bit. I think they've done a fantastic job of making this team the way they want it to be and being able to win games that they probably shouldn't be winning, and they're only a couple games out of a playoff spot.
Yeah, their defense is really good. You got Fox, DeAngelo. Who else am I missing? They traded Brady Shea away. They got Trouba, Ryan Lindgren, I think, as well. And Mark Stahl and somebody else. Either way, they're looking good there. Their forwards, Ryan Strom's nearly a point per game somehow.
Yeah, he's been fantastic.
Yeah.
Because he's playing with what's-his-face, though, Panarin.
Well,
then you look at their second line, Mika Zibanejad, unreal season.
Yeah.
The fact that he's only played, 56 or some games, and he's already at 40 goals. He's been unreal. He had a 5-goal game.
Too. He's quick.
He had a 5-goal game against one of the best teams in the league in Washington.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that one.
He's been absolutely unreal all season. And, all those people who are saying he's only playing well because of Panarin, he was on the second line, and he's been absolutely unreal the whole time.
Might go get a plate of food, boys. I'm pretty hungry.
Okay, we'll move on to the next topic here then if Mike, you're done.
Hold on. I want to ask you guys about a goalie that has had a couple of tough seasons lately, and I want to know what you guys think his future is. Mr. Jonathan Quick has had a pretty bad couple of seasons here. What do you guys think his next move is going to be?
How old is he?
He's 33.
33.
I think retirement is coming up in Jonathan Quick's future.
Oh, I wouldn't say that now. No.
Yeah, I would.
I think there's a lot of teams out there that can use him. I think he just needs to get out of LA.
Yeah, I think LA's system is not helping him at all.
Yeah, he served his time. But
I don't think he's a starter.
No, he's a backup now for sure.
I think I don't know if he's a backup as much as I think it's an Edmonton situation and what they did this year with Smith and
Koskinen. Yeah, sorry. I was going to say
they need that 1-2. Yeah, they need that 1-2 punch.
The 50-50 goalie. You need to split.
Yeah, 41-41.
Yeah, split.
Hey, by the way, speaking of Mike Smith, does anybody want framed and signed Mike Smith Flames jersey?
Nope.
Okay. I
Okay.
definitely got it for $200.
Where do you think his move's going to be though? what team do you think could use some Jonathan Quick magic?
I think he's going to go to Team Jonathan Quick and sit on his couch in LA.
I'm going to go – this is going to be a surprising team. I'm going to go with the Ottawa Senators. Just bring him in for a year and test him. I think bringing him in and seeing what he can do for the 1 year just to see what he can do. Craig Anderson's probably going to retire within the next year or two, hopefully this year. I want him to go away.
Craig Anderson fan?
And then splitting him with Nilsson, I think will be a fantastic thing to do. He's not quite ready for the starting job. Just kind of have that split decision with both of them, see what Quick can do.
Tyler's thinking about life over here. Yeah.
All around me are familiar faces.
I'm just trying to think of a team that would fit the best. I'm envisioning North America as a continent right now, and I'm going through the map and putting NHL cities. You gotta give me like 2 minutes.
He's got the montage going on his head.
While Tyler's thinking, I'll run you through what I think is the best option for him. I say he does what Mike was talking about and sign with a team for a year, try something new, and then take your talent a bit elsewhere when Seattle comes into play. Do what Fleury did and go to a different team, a new team that you are creating the system. There is no system in play. You are creating the system, and you have the freedom to play in your own system. And I think Jonathan Quick, even though he is pretty old and he's getting up there in age, I think he has enough years that by the time Seattle comes in, he can give them 2-3 years of 50-50 goaltending and provide them with hopefully what Vegas did. So that's my suggestion. But
yeah, you convinced me. I'll agree with that.
That's a good idea, actually. I like that.
Changing my
Let's see what Tyler has to say.
What's his contract like right now?
It's $5 million for like a year or two, I think, something like that.
Yeah, I don't know when he's a free agent.
Give that a search. I'm still trying to figure out which teams I want to see him go to.
There's a lot of teams that I would enjoy seeing Jonathan Quick on.
All right, I got one. I got 2, actually.
Okay.
My 2 picks, Buffalo, potentially. It's an Eastern team. I'm pretty sure he's from
Get Hutton
Eastern
out of there.
USA. Yeah, Hutton's been kind of bad. They could use a different look. The other team I was going to suggest would be Chicago. They just traded Leonard. They don't have anything for a backup right now. I think
I want to add to that.
We got Malcolm Subban, but
I got one to add to that list, though. Tyler.
Yep.
What about Nashville?
no, they got their 2 goalies.
If they get rid of
Keka's on a decline, man.
Yeah, if they get rid of Rene, you get Quick at a cheap price, absolutely. If not, then yeah.
Keka's on a decline.
That net is Saros' now, though.
Sorry, say that again?
Nashville's net is all UC Saros' now.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was saying, Nashville.
I think Rene's going to move.
Yep.
If I was LA, I would take a look at Rene.
Yeah.
Rene's in the same position as Quick is right now, and he just needs the system change. But
what are both of their contracts like? What if they did a 1-for-1 deal?
Well, Jonathan Quick signed a 10-year contract in 2013.
Oh, God.
2023. Quick is not done with the Kings until 2023.
So he's going to get traded.
He has to get traded.
Or bought out.
That's not a good contract, right?
I can see LA buying him out.
He's a 5.
See, that's another thing, though. That's why LA had such a sharp decline. They won their 2 cups and they paid their veterans, which I mean, yeah, sure, there's a loyalty aspect, but it's like this one topic I've been telling Justin like the entire year. I'll let you guys finish the sentence. I was just going to say.
You tell us a lot of things, Dan. I have no idea.
The older coaches let the older players play.
Yeah, like basically, coaches value experience over experience over opportunity.
Yeah.
Once you win those cups, if they're asking for too much money and you don't think you can fit it, trade them, toss them aside, get new blood in there, give them an opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
You know, always change it up. But look at LA. They overpaid who? Carter. A couple times fine. Doughty's fine. They overpaid Quick, Carter, the defense. They have a lot of contracts they can't get off the book now because of those wins.
Yeah.
Well,
that's Quick to a 10-year, $5.8 million contract. That in 2013.
Yeah.
That's a freaking beefy contract to get rid of.
Yeah.
That's a big cap hit, and either they have to buy him out or some team's going to have to take a $5.8 million cap hit to get him.
Yeah.
Or he doesn't get protected and Seattle takes him.
or he doesn't
I
get
doubt
paid.
they will. They'd be smart not to.
Well, yeah, there's going to be a lot of young goalies being
Yeah.
unprotected.
I was gonna
I
say,
wanted to go to Josh on this one though. Like, if you look at his style, he's more of an athletic desperation save goalie. He's not technically sound as others.
Quick reminds me of the dead fish technique where he just
Yeah, you've seen him
frickin'
do
flies
the
around.
splits how many times
Yeah.
trying to fucking get a puck?
You know what? To me, Quick's goaltending game isn't reliable anymore. It's
No,
not reliable.
exactly. You need technically sound goalie.
It was when he got paid $5 million for 10 years in 2013. He won 2 cups, right?
Mhm.
But like, it kind of reminds me of Fleury, where Fleury does that too, but not as like crazy and flashy as Quick does. But they're both diving around the net. They're both frickin' jumping left and right? Like, and he's very shaky too.
do you
Like,
do you
if
guys
you
think
see-
there's room for a goalie with the goaltender style of what Martin Brodeur had in today's league? Because Martin Brodeur was a very stand-up goalie. He was a goalie that rarely went down and only went down if he had to.
The thing is,
Aggressive goalie in my
I'd
mind.
say if it's Martin Brodeur himself, yes. But if it's a different goalie, I don't think a whole lot of people can replicate that same success that Brodeur had. And especially in this league now, I think that Brodeur was so good that he could do it, but I don't think a lot of people could.
I think the problem with that too.
Different time period, too, though. Like you can look back at the old players from like the 1980s and stuff like that, and look back at their play style and how much the league changed. Like even looking back at last year, like the league's changed this year than it did last year.
Yep.
I think they've kind of grown out of that style a bit more, and I feel like they're trying to get more of the tall, flexible goalies that can sprawl, take up 95% of the net without moving.
Great example of that is Bishop.
Yeah.
Ben Bishop has been solid for almost his entire career, right?
Yeah.
Like he just doesn't get a whole lot of looks because he's so different than everybody else, right? Not really though. He's super tall and he's super solid, right? Like if you watch him play, we'll bring it back to Quick. Those two are kind of polar opposites of each other, right? If you look at Quick, every time the puck is shot at him, right? Like his hands are moving, his knees are what? Like, look at it. I'm not wrong.
Your mic sounds like a pack of fireworks under a
Awesome. Yeah. Like you see Quick and he's shaking every time he takes a shot, right? You see Bishop, he doesn't even move.
Yeah. It's goaltending is weird. Goaltenders are weird.
Yep, sure are.
Man, goaltenders are always the weirdest people in the dressing room.
Oh yeah, 100%.
100% of the time. But okay, we could probably move on to the next topic.
Yep.
Okay. The next one was if the season ended today, who would win each award? So let's go. Art Ross, you already know, is going to be the leading scorer. So it'd probably be Draisaitl. He was running away with it anyways.
Yeah.
Yep.
Who would be your Hart most valuable player for the season?
I'd say Draisaitl.
I think it's Draisaitl as well. Mike?
Mike is very unimpressed by something.
There's I don't even know how to say this. There's different classes in the NHL, and there's very few people in that top class. And I think Draisaitl is one of them. And I think for as long as he is in the league, I think Ovechkin's always going to kind of be up there.
Mm-hmm.
Just based off the fact that he continues to put up the same amount of points year by year to year to year, and he just continues to put goals up. But I don't think he was the best this season, and I think my mind is on Draisaitl as well.
I'd agree.
Yep.
Mike?
Mike is very
I'm trying to.
What is he going to say, Giordano or something?
No. I'm trying to
Derek Ryan.
I'm trying to, in my head, make a bunch of reasons as to why Panarin should win it.
I was also thinking of him as a runner-up, but
he just doesn't have enough points, and he doesn't have enough impact on his team, and they're not in the playoffs. So the thing with that is I think Draisaitl does win it because of that. They're in the playoffs. He's got the most points in the league. But in my eyes, I still think that McDavid's been better than Draisaitl.
I would disagree.
I think that he's played less games. He's played better in the games he's been in. I just think that the league loves McDavid so much to the point where they would choose McDavid.
I'm with Mike on that one.
I think there's another player, though, that we are all forgetting about, and that's David Pastrnak. His season was unreal this year.
My fantasy team agrees with that.
Yeah, fuck you.
That for Pastrnak, though, I don't know if it was him or if
it's his line. It's his line.
That line is.
It is his line.
I think he brings
just get
very
like
valuable commodity to that line, but that line is the production line for a reason. Marchand's really good. Bergeron's unreal as well.
Yeah,
and they're both playmaking.
That entire line, the award. Can we just give it to the whole line? We get 3 little tiny ones that are like this big.
No, but I think in the long run, Leon Draisaitl, he's 110 points with Connor McDavid 97 right behind him. Like you can't beat that. Like he's already 13 points ahead of everyone else. And we're not even in the season. Like they had how many games did they have left?
We had 11.
11 games left. So that's potential for another upwards of 10 points.
Yep.
I'd say that's another 22 at least for him. I think he's going to get 2 points a game for the.
I was going to bring this up. If we're going by even strength points between McDavid and Draisaitl would have had. Let me think it out here. He would have had 64 even strength points, and McDavid would have had what's 97 minus 43? That'd be 54 points compared to Draisaitl's 64. McDavid missed about 6 games.
But yeah, I think Leon Draisaitl is definitely top contender for that.
And they haven't been playing together. That's the main thing, except for power play. But that's a big reason why our power play is number 1 in the league on a historical rate.
Yeah,
for sure.
I don't know. I just think Draisaitl has gotten to that level of player that he's unreal.
Yeah.
And he's had the best. He's been the most valuable player in my opinion.
And
if we don't have him, we're done though.
I think someone else you have to throw in the conversation, of course, is Nathan McKinnon. I think the fact that Rannon and Landeskog have both been out for the whole year pretty much, the fact that he stepped up as much as he has, I think he's obviously a huge discussion in this conversation. But obviously, again, I think the fact that Draisaitl is 20 points above everybody pretty much, you can't not pick him.
Okay, well, we're going to skip over the Ted Lindsay. I feel like the players would vote McDavid regardless. That's for the most outstanding player.
Yeah.
They usually just go with the most skilled player, which is either Crosby or McDavid on a given season.
Yeah.
And they all vote for one of those two usually. We'll go to the goalies next. Vezina, who would you pick?
I don't know, man. I did a horrible job of actually paying attention to hockey this year while it was on, so come to me.
I'm gonna go with Vasilevsky again. I think just the tear that he went on the last month and a half, I think that really helped him. The fact that he helped Tampa Bay grow as much as they did, I think that's a huge reason why I think he should win it. I think, in fact, what did he go 19 games without losing or something like that? Something crazy like that.
Yeah, some unreal stat like that.
Something like that. My runner-up would be Connor Hellebuck. I think without him in net, I think Winnipeg would not be in a playoff spot right now. I think that he's been so good, and I love him so much. I wish I could pick him over Vasilevsky, but I just think that Vasilevsky's been so good this last 2 months.
I personally would choose Connor Hellebuck over Vasilevsky just based on the fact that
I would too.
Winnipeg has had a very rough defense this year, but they're still a good team.
Yeah.
And it's basically because of Connor Hellebuck. Vasilevsky's got defense in front of him. He's got good defense. He's got good scoring forwards that keep the puck in the offensive zone. Hellebuck doesn't have that. He's got good offense, but his defense is slacking, especially with Buffalo out. Well, missing. Nobody knows where he is.
Yeah.
Coronavirus. I don't know.
Yeah, he's in the Finland. He's just off the grid. Yeah. He's pulling the Kiprusoff. He's pulling the Kiprusoff where he just moved back to Finland and dropped off the face of the earth.
I think Hellebuck just overall played a bit better in the circumstances that he had with his team. So
I would go with Markstrom or Bishop. I lean towards Markstrom though. He has been the best goalie this entire season. Markstrom has, yes, I think.
Okay.
Bishop, I don't know if he's been splitting or not, but he's been consistently good.
Yeah.
And he's been
Dallas has
unreal.
definitely
And
been splitting, yeah.
Yeah, you know what? I'd give it to Bishop or I'd give it to Hellebuck.
No, I'm gonna add Hellbuck to my list too. It's either him or Markstrom, in my opinion.
Okay.
Hellebuck is just
with the lack of defense, Hellebuck had an unreal season. Like he was making saves left, right, and center when his defense was shit. So that's my decision. So
I agree with you there. I
All
think Markstrom has been the best goalie.
Let's continue.
So let's go to defense. James Norris. Justin?
I think it's pretty obvious.
Oh, like you.
All right, it's obviously John Carlson. I think like no one's been as good as him all season.
Yeah.
The fact that he is over a point per game this year, he's on pace for 96 points, I think it was, before the season canceled. And the fact that he's been the best player on Washington, I'm gonna say it, he's been the best player on Washington this season. And I think that not a whole lot of people are gonna pick anybody else, in my opinion.
Yeah, Carlson.
It was his when he was leading the scoring 15 games into the season.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He wrapped it up and walked away with it right back.
Okay, wait. Who would be a runner-up? Just to make it interesting.
Oh, okay.
I don't even know.
I'm gonna go with Roman Josi. I think he's been really good for Nashville this year. He's also been a player who's almost a point per game this year. He's been really good manning that offense.
What are you doing, Tyler?
I'm waiting for Mike to finish.
Okay.
And I think he's been just so good this season for that Nashville team who was on the downslide this year, and they came back up because of him. Especially that one game against Detroit where he made that 2-goal comeback for him. I think that he's been great this season.
I would have stolen from you if you accepted that fucking trade.
Hey man, I knew he was better than Morgan Riley. I just knew as soon as it happened.
Yeah, but I got you thinking.
Had me thinking for sure.
Fuck, I almost placed you. Justin, up to you.
I don't think you can take it away from John Carlson. I think Carlson was obviously the best defenseman in the league this year. I think a defenseman that played a really good season, but I don't think deserves the award. But Hughes had an amazing season for being a rookie, and I just think he had a wicked season. But at the end of the day, Carlson is just on a different level of defense than everyone else for me.
Yeah.
Carlson.
I might wager two players here. Zach Werenski.
Okay.
And
Yeah. I'd still give it to Carlson, but Werenski is a close second. I'd say
20 goals as a D-man. That's pretty unheard of.
It's pretty good. Yeah. I'd say Werenski's going to be definitely in talks for it next year. I still got to give it to Carlson, though.
Oh, definitely. I have something in my head. I can't think of it right now. Hold on.
Werenski just didn't have enough production. Like, he had the 20 goals, but he didn't really have the assists. He didn't really...
Mm-hmm.
I would argue Torrey Krug.
Yeah, you could argue that.
He's been okay, but how much of his points and his like overall play was based off that line?
Yeah.
That's what I was going to say. He plays on that power play unit, but he's also one of the top defensemen on the best team in the league.
Yeah, exactly.
I think another defenseman to look at that just straight up carried a team. I wouldn't say carried a team, but was definitely a helpful benefit was Oscar Klefbom this year with the Oilers. I think obviously the Oilers' defense was a little slack over the last couple of years, and I think he came in and he had multiple games this year that he was playing over 30 minutes. Like, that's impressive. Like, I think he obviously wasn't the best defenseman in the league, but he had an amazing season this year.
He's our number one, hands down.
He's going to be the number one for a couple more years.
All right, well, I'm going to take over here. I'm going to go with
I know where you're going with this.
I'm gonna go with TJ Brody. I think he's better than Klefbom for sure. Yeah, he's a really good defender.
Oh, that dude.
Yeah, I heard about this and Rasmus Anderson.
Hey, buddy, you just dropped your mic down a goddamn rock cliff.
Mike, you remember that last year?
Yeah, that conversation was not.
You were so convinced TJ Brody was better than.
Hey, to be fair, he had a better season the year before.
Okay, great.
But, like, you got
Cool. No.
Obviously, I regret it. Obviously, Clefbaum's a better defenseman than TJ Brody. Gonna say it.
All right, can I make one comment on the Oilers' blue line?
No.
Yes.
I don't think we would have been in the playoffs this year or even on pace to make it if our rookie defenseman stepped up. Ethan Bear came out of nowhere. He's playing top 4 minutes.
Yeah.
I knew he was good, but I didn't think he would step into a top 4 defense position and run with it.
Where's he from? Isn't he from around here?
From Saskatchewan, a native of Saskatchewan. But then Caleb Jones, Seth Jones' younger brother, he came up halfway through the year, and they told him
I knew he had some relation there.
Oh yeah, that's his older brother. But he came up, I think, like a quarter way into the season. He's stuck around, and he looks like he's a good. He can play in top 4 if he needs, but he can be a top 6 option. He looks like, and they told him to buy a house, so he's going to be on our blue line next year. And then Legason even came up and he played good top 6. Like, we got some good contributions from these AHL defense, which is nice to see.
Yep.
That's fair.
Yep. All right, let's move on.
All right, next one, the Calder.
Which was that?
This is going to be
This
an
is a
interesting talk.
Yeah.
I already know my two.
It comes down to 2 players.
It comes down to 2 players, but who do we pick is the question.
My choice is Quinn Hughes and Cale Makar.
Yep.
As defensemen, those two put up. I think it was like Quinn Hughes had 43 and Makar had 40 points. Like that's pretty impressive as a rookie defenseman in the NHL. And just to look at Cale Makar and see how much he is actually doing for Colorado, even like with his injury, like he's running their power play as a defense.
Hey, Justin, is there a little bit of bias there?
Oh, 100%. I fucking have it. Cale Makar. That dude's an absolute fucking man rocket.
I'm going to go with Cale Makar. I think the fact that he was hurt for a huge chunk of this season and the fact that he has carried that blue line, I think that he's been a better defense. I wouldn't say he's a better defenseman. I think they're pretty neck and neck when it comes to that, but I just think he's had the better season. And especially because Landeskog and Rantanen aren't there, the fact that he has been able to get those points that he has been getting on that power play, even though those 2 top players aren't there, I think he's got it.
Josh?
Yep. Makar and Hughes.
Pick one.
Probably Hughes.
You pick one.
Sorry, say it again.
I didn't pick one.
Yeah, you did.
I know which way your bias is leading, though.
Actually, I was going to say Quinn Hughes.
What, really?
Yeah.
Well, he talked about Quinn Hughes in the Calder or in the
Yeah, I think Quinn Hughes. I think Cale Makar had a more skilled lineup to jump into. Like he had McKinnon, he had Rantanen, he had Landeskog. Obviously, they were injured, but he still had those players to carry him and get him his points. Whereas Quinn Hughes doesn't have those star players as much as Makar did, but he still put up more points than him. So
it's only 3 more, and he played less games. Makar played less games. I would go with Hughes as well, though, just based on like matchups. I think Hughes is playing with Tanev right now, so that'd be their top defensive defenseman. He's getting top lines nearly every game. Makar's playing with, I believe his name is Ryan Graves. Who's the first in plus minus, I believe, right now. But those are 2 rookie defensemen. I can guarantee you those players aren't playing top line.
Yeah.
They're throwing Eric Johnson, the Samuel Girards, the Nikita Zadorovs against these bigger teams.
Off topic. But
and Makar basically gets protected a bit, then he goes on the power play, and you throw McKinnon.
All right, go, Josh.
Okay, do you get off topic, but do you guys remember the time when I was doing play-by-play and I called Quinn Buchanan Quinn Hughes?
No.
Because it definitely happened.
Oh, no.
Like, my apologies, ladies and gentlemen. Quinn Hughes is a defenseman in the NHL.
No, I
that was a rough day.
I think Hughes had a bit stronger of a season.
Yeah.
All right, Selke.
I don't know what that is.
It's the best forward.
That's
2-way
like
center.
Great
Usually goes to
player
a center.
Yeah. This is the Bergeron Award, right?
Yes.
Pretty much every year. Patrice Bergeron. There's my pick. Let's move on.
I'm gonna go with Ryan O'Reilly again. I think that he's been spectacular on both ends.
Did he win it last year?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
he's
that'd be a
been
good choice.
spectacular on both ends of it. Another player to consider is Kopitar again. He's won it a couple times too. I think he's been really good this season on both ends as well. Even bringing Lindholm into the conversation, I know that's a little biased, but he's been fantastic for the Flames in that center position on both sides of the ice, and I think those are the three kind of contenders.
So you said it usually goes to a centerman, right?
Yeah.
Mark Stone's also usually up there as well.
Yeah, I give it to O'Reilly.
Mine's biased. Mine's 100% biased. I think Evgeny Malkin, actually.
Okay.
We had a very injured roster. We had no Crosby for a very long time, and Malkin carried that team.
You know what?
He
I like that.
averaged 2 to 3 points a game when Crosby was out, and yeah, I'm a biased. I'm a Penguins fan. To me, in my eyes, Malkin was the best forward. He was the best centerman. Like he didn't play the first 22 games of the season or something like that with an injury. He played in between, but then got injured again. But I just think with the amount of games that he did play and how much he carried the Penguins to the position that they are right now, that's my decision.
I like Malkin too.
I would lean to either Sean Couturier or who am I looking at here? I'm trying to think. I keep losing the player that I have in my head. Fuck. Come back to me. I lost it.
Back to it. What's our next award?
I'm just while he's thinking, I'm gonna throw the award out there. That's obvious. It already has it determined. Is the Maurice Richard Trophy going to Pasternak and Ovechkin? 2 people, both 48 goals.
Yep.
Throw that out there.
Yep.
That's if you give it a couple more games, maybe Matthews can catch up. He's at 47, but I think that right now, obviously, those 2 are at the top.
Yeah. Sucks Matthews couldn't break 50 this year, though.
Oh, yeah. Okay, my other player, this is going to be a dark horse. I would go with Anthony Cirelli on Tampa.
Okay.
A little less known player.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Why?
I'm good with these type of things, though.
Why?
Justin is ready to destroy this.
I'm not ready to destroy it. I'm just curious on why.
Whenever you say
They're
why
really
like
good
that,
food
I just
for it.
immediately am like, oh, Justin's going to tear this apart.
Is he playing top line minutes though? Is he playing against the other team's top line?
Yeah.
I basically sort of think a lot of these Selke candidates are second line forwards.
That's true.
Other than the Bergerons, Tays, and whatnot. But if you look at all these top offensive centers, I guarantee they're not playing against top opposition when they exchange.
Yeah, I think one player that we're definitely forgetting about is Sean Monahan.
I don't know, boys. Man, Japan.
I think one player we're missing here. I think Jankowski's been really good this season.
I'm not a
Yeah, I think the true player that has really been the best player in the league this year, just overall in the last 10 years, I think Milan Lucic.
Because he died. It's because he bleached his hair. That's why.
Actually, more of a Zach Ronaldo kind of guy. No.
Yeah, I like
I'm kind of with you on that one. Ronaldo was pretty good this year, though. He wasn't bad.
All right, Tyler, go to the next one.
Well,
Hey!
we triggered Tyler.
Ronaldo was the scrappy guy that we needed just to get going again. We needed to take out Jankowski. It was as simple as that. Jankowski and a couple other players. He shouldn't have played.
Yeah. I would be a terrible NHL GM because I get attached to players really easily. I was at the Vegas Flames game when he scored 4 goals. And since then, I was like, yeah, Jankowski's great. And then he just kind of sucked. And I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. Jankowski's still good.
Can we just agree that the person that dives the most in the entire NHL is Connor McDavid?
Oh, jeez. Tyler's gonna get mad
and walk away.
Yeah, Tyler's gonna just drive to High River quick and cut your brake lines.
Smack the shit out of me.
Yeah, we're gonna wait an hour and a half, and Tyler's gonna kick down the door in your basement there. You're like, oh, Tyler's left.
All right, Tyler, go to the next award now.
Okay,
I don't know what other big award there would be. Honestly, I actually had 2 follow-up questions.
Stanley Cup champion.
Stanley Cup champion, Vegas Golden
Oh,
Knights.
we already did that.
Yeah, we already did that. Vegas Golden Knights, obviously.
I kind of want to focus more on individual players still. So, Give me your breakout star for next year.
Oh, why not this year?
No idea.
Because
Yeah.
this year's already halfway done. I want to see who you think is going to like pop off next year.
Can we go with breakout this year and who we think next year?
Sure.
So breakout this year, JT Miller.
I was going to bring him up. He had a really good season.
He was a really good player this year for the Vancouver Canucks. Everybody kind of thought that contract was just kind of a whatever. He's just on the team now, but he really took that top line right wing spot, left wing spot, either one. And I think he's done a fantastic job of playing with that top line, and he's been really good this season. And
with our professional podcast, I can't wait anymore. I'm starving. I'll be right back. I can get some food in.
All right.
Pussy.
I don't
I
know
know.
for this year other than JT Miller. I'm trying to think. Go to Tyler. Give me a second.
What?
I have somebody for next year. You guys can go first.
Yeah,
Let's hear it, Mike. Let's hear it.
Next year, I'm going to go with Kevin Fiala. I think he's only going to build on what he's done this year. I think he's going to be a 70 to 80 point scorer next year. I think he's going to really bounce even higher than he has in these last 2 months. And I think this Minnesota team is only going to go higher and higher into the standings because he's been so good. And I think he's going to show why he was traded for Granlund straight up.
Interesting. I think my breakout this year probably is going to be biased, but I'm going to go with Yamamoto. I don't think anybody thought he would be a point per game after his call up.
Okay.
I'm trying to think. There's another player I had in mind. I lost the player though. Gotta give me a second here. Going through the teams. 1 second.
I got nothing.
No.
Give me a second. Give me a second. Keep going.
Mike.
Let me see if I can find some others.
I got one.
I mean, you can't not say Zibanejad. He's been really good.
I was going to go with D'Angelo on the
D'Angelo too, yeah. Panarin. I mean, he went a step up even higher than he did last year.
I'm thinking more of like younger players though.
Kyle Connor.
Yeah.
I really like the way he's played so far for the Jets. Obviously, like Hellebuck, he's kind of stepped up for them this year. You can also give it to Kubalik. He didn't really have a breakout year. It was his first year, but he was really good this year for the Blackhawks. William Nylander had a fantastic year.
Mm-hmm. He's good bounce.
Great bounce back.
Had a wicked year this year that I saw a lot of because I'm a Penguins fan. Travis Konechny.
Yeah, he had a nice
very good season as well. I think in terms of next year, I'm gonna go with. I'd go with Zibanejad next year, to be honest.
To go even higher than he is now.
Yeah, I think you're putting him on a team that's on the uprise.
Oh,
and you're putting him with players that he can keep up with and that can keep up with him in Connor McDavid. And I think that matchup's going to be tough to beat when there's that much speed coming down the line on you. And I think he's going to put up a lot of points beside McDavid next year. If they keep him there.
You said Ennis?
Zibanejad.
Oh, I heard McDavid. Did you say McDavid?
I think you said McDavid a couple times.
I did. Is Ennis? Wait a second. Who's the guy that went to Edmonton? Ennis.
And Anthony.
Anthony. Fuck off. It wasn't Zibanejad. Anthony.
Zibanejad is the guy from New York who scored like
New York. Yeah, fuck. I don't know why I thought Zibanejad. Anthony. Sorry.
Hey, it's
apologies. They got long names. Hard to say.
I'm gonna go to Carolina for these actually next 2 picks. I think Svechnikov had a really good step up year from his rookie year. He got a lot more playing opportunities on the top line now. Also, for next year, a player to watch for, Marty Necas.
Yeah, I was gonna bring him up too. I think he's
We are on the same page, dude.
Who the hell is that?
He's a very good player for Carolina. He wins like all the awards in NHL. I'm telling you right now.
Yeah, I've never heard his name.
Merton and then NECAS.
Huh. I mean, I'm also the guy that just confused Anthony with Zibanejad, so I can't really talk.
Who else? Oh, Strome's obviously been another breakout guy for sure. Yeah. Just that whole New York team, honestly. I had somebody for next year. For next year, Jack Hughes. I think Jack Hughes is actually going to have a good season next year. He's going to bounce back. I think that first year having that rookie wall, I think he's going to be fantastic next year.
Definitely.
I think Eichel had a pretty decent season this year too, just with the amount that he carried Buffalo.
Yeah.
I think Buffalo kind of struggled and he kind of kept them afloat. But
Eichel's fucking unreal, dude. He needs help though.
Oh, he does. He really does.
He needs a right wing. Well, we thought Skinner was going to be that, but
Skinner gets his $9 million, goes back to like 10 goals instead of 40.
He's someone that can keep up with him. Like, he's a pretty fast skater, man. Like,
they should have traded for Athanasiou, honestly.
They should have. Like, yeah.
Yeah. What was I gonna say? There's somebody I was gonna bring up. Under the radar, actually. He's been injured the entire year. Mike, do you know who I'm getting at?
Tarasenko?
No, we're Eastern Conference Metro.
Metro Eastern Conference. Been hurt all year.
Washington?
No.
Everyone's healthy in Washington.
Hurt all year. Oh, this is gonna piss me off.
I know you know who it is.
I don't know.
Hurt all year. Give me team.
Philly.
Philly. Nolan Patrick?
Yes.
No.
Normally he'd slide in onto the second or first line for them, and they're on fire. If he comes back, you never know what can happen.
Put him with Van Riemsdyk. Yeah, that would be a bad idea.
Yeah, who's he playing with now?
Nobody.
He had like migraine issues that have complicated kids. Like,
who did he play with last year?
He played with, I believe, Voracek and Konechny or something.
And he did not play very well.
No, but I think, yeah, but these migraines or concussion or whatever it is was affecting him.
Yeah, obviously, for sure.
If he can get past that and come back, he's a really good player, actually. And on that team, I think he'd fit in perfectly.
Who else has been? Okay, let's talk about disappointing players now. What players disappointed you this season?
Monahan.
Yeah.
Name's roster.
Except for Mangiapane and Kachuk.
Mangiapane and Kachuk. I think Gaudreau was terrible.
Yeah.
He had a terrible season. I think he's definitely up there for someone that struggled this year.
The entire Nashville Predators forward core.
Yeah.
Duchesne, yeah.
I think along with Nashville, Arizona.
Yeah.
Phil Kessel, even Taylor Hall's whole year.
And
his entire season.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are players like Phil Kessel and Phil Kessel's just fucking Phil Kessel. The only thing Phil Kessel's got on him right now is a shot. He's pretty
a couple pounds.
Yeah. More hot dogs in him.
I always try to defend Taylor Hall, dude, saying he's a good player. He's just been stuck on shit teams, but
opportunities, man.
There's got to be a common denominator sometime here. If it doesn't work out.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with a couple players here. I'm gonna go with first. I'm going to go with Matt Barzal. I thought Matt Barzal was going to be a lot better for the Islanders this year, especially with Tavares leaving. I think that I thought he was going to carry that burden a little bit more than he was. And I just think that he kind of had an off year for most of the year. Another player I'm going to go with is obviously Bobrovsky. I think he obviously came to Florida, and everybody thought they were going to take off and take over the league. But obviously he hasn't been that. And Tyler, you may talk.
I disagree with you on the Barzal front.
Really?
I think Trotz is making him play a system that he's not suited for whatsoever.
Yeah, I agree with that.
He's an offensive, skilled, creative player, and he's basically – him and Trotz have been going back and forth the entire time based on, like – I think Barzal's tried to get it creative a couple times, and Trotz has benched him afterwards. Stupid. Justin, you can go.
The most polite podcast.
Yeah. I think – a player that was on my radar for someone who didn't do as good as I was expecting. I don't think I can really blame them on this as it was their first season. But Kaapo Kakko, he didn't play as good as I thought he was going to do. I thought he was going to do a lot better with the Rangers. With the Rangers lineup that they had this season and how well they were playing, he was just there. he was just an average player. There was nothing special about him. And coming into the season, I was like, man, this guy's going to be pretty good. Like, I thought he was going to be the top of the draft for sure. But
Cackle?
yeah,
Yeah, he kind of was.
he was kind of
invisible
on
this
and off
year.
this year, man. 23, 66 games. Like,
I think everybody was expecting him to have a LAN type year. Like everybody was expecting him to be that great Finnish player, but he wasn't.
Jacko didn't get the opportunity that he deserved.
Oh God, no, he didn't at all.
Their coach put him on the third line, hasn't let him get off of there since.
yeah, who is he playing with?
I can't even tell you. Brett Howden, I think.
He's not first line. I know that.
He's
Howden,
not second either.
Second either. I'm pretty sure he's third or fourth. Like, he's down there, man.
Oh yeah, he's not first two lines.
That's where he should be.
Coca-Cola.
Honestly, at this point, I don't even. I wouldn't have put him there either, but I would have put him in the AHL or back in Finland. At this
Give him
point,
an extra year.
Give him an extra
even
year.
for development, he's not. You can't play a second or first overall pick on the fourth fucking line.
Yeah, no, you can't.
Yeah.
What's the point? They're basically just doing something somebody making $650K could do. And
Yeah.
And is willing to do it to back create Bane and Crash. Cackle's a skilled player. You should be working on that.
Yeah, that's why I kind of like. Obviously, it's not really his fault that he didn't have this.
Disappointing players this season.
Okay.
Yeah, obviously this wasn't.
Johnny Gaudreau.
Yeah.
We touched that already.
Oh, okay. Perfect.
Right.
Sean
Like-
Monahan. Did you guys talk about that one too?
And that was the first name I mentioned.
Perfect.
Like Tyler said, though, it was the system that Kako was placed into that made him unperform.
Oh,
In my mind.
I was gonna bring up a Detroit player, but like I feel bad for them, so I'm gonna leave them out.
Can we
No,
just
say
say
it.
like the entire
Say
Detroit
Dylan Larkin,
Red
do it.
I'm not gonna say Dylan Larkin.
Say Dylan Larkin,
No,
Justin
do it.
he's done fine. Their top line's been fine.
Abdelkader. Is he even there? He's still there.
That's
Yeah.
just a really bad contract Ken Holland signed.
He's still technically
Did you
there.
guys talk about Kessel too?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, we talked Kessel, Hall.
Speaking of Hall, Tyler.
Yes.
Let's transition to the next topic.
Oh. So do you guys think the Yotes made a mistake for trading for Taylor Hall, and will he resign?
He's not going to resign in Arizona. I tell you that right now.
I think it was a huge mistake for them. I think that they didn't give up a whole lot for him, so I mean, it wasn't a lose situation for them. But I just think the fact that they were playing so well and they brought in I'm not gonna say he's an ego per se, but they brought him in and he didn't help the team the way that they thought they would at all. The fact that he's just a rental at this point and the season's ending now and they're not in a playoff spot like they wanted to be, it kind of puts them back at square one. Or if they re-sign him, it puts them in a cap situation they don't want to be in.
I agree there 100%. I'm going to add a little bit to that, though. I think as soon as he got there, he was producing fine. The goalie went down, and kind of coincidentally, he was scoring, but the team wasn't winning. I don't think you can blame it on, especially a number one winner. I don't think it was on him, but
I think it was just a fluke year for
it was a bad
Arizona.
fit, I think.
I think it was just a fluke year for Arizona, man. Like, they had a lot of success this year. Don't get me wrong. For Arizona too, like they were pretty good, pretty good for a Coyotes team. They bring in Hall, kind of start to drop off. Season ends due to a pandemic. Hall's got 1 year left. It's just kind of a fluke all around, and for Hall too. It's just a fluke year for everybody.
It's a fluke. I don't think that was the right fit for him. He's got to be on a team where he's not the number one guy.
Colorado.
Yeah, Colorado would work. New York Islanders, maybe.
You'd be the number one guy there, Justin.
I don't know if it was as much as a mistake to trade him. I think it was just a mistake that Arizona did anything. I think the team that they had at the beginning of the season, I think would have been their best option. Obviously, with injuries, you can't really
Predict
that team. You can't predict that you're going to have that team ready to go. But as you guys said, I don't think Taylor Hall is in the position right now in his career where he is ready to be that star player that carries the team. He's not ready to be the Crosbys, the McDavids, the Ovechkins, not even close. And I think they're putting him in a position where he has to produce like that. And I just didn't think he could handle it.
Yeah, definitely. I think exactly that. And I think once the season started, he was going to free agency. He made up his mind. He knew he was going to get his big payday, essentially. He's 28. He's on a $6 million contract. This is his big payday, but he also gets to choose where he wants to go. And he's going to get paid.
I wouldn't be surprised if he signs with Colorado.
Dallas could be an option. New York Islanders could be. He could go back with Eberle and Barzell there. That'd be interesting.
I kind of think he screwed over the Devils a little bit too. Like he told them that he could stay if they overloaded. Now they have that huge Subban contract that they definitely don't want. And I think the fact that he kind of played with them a little bit and said like, okay, like if we decide to play well here, then I will stay. But then they didn't play well, and then obviously he was like, okay, I'm not staying. Good luck with your Subban contract.
He was also another player that really underperformed this year.
Yeah.
Well, I expected it.
Oh, I expected it.
I was expecting him to decline at some point.
year-old with like back issues, it was going to happen eventually.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was going to happen this season. I thought it was going to be like maybe a year or two down the road, but happens now.
Funny guy though. I'm still holding out hope that Hall could return to Edmonton. There's a slight chance.
You guys have the cap though?
No.
Yeah,
He loves the city, dude.
You don't have the cap anymore.
Don't know that.
You'd have to drop some players.
Well, I would be fully prepared to.
Russell. He'd be the first one on my list to go.
Yes.
You know what? I don't think Russell is going to be an Oiler much longer, regardless if Hall comes
I don't think Russell is going to be an NHL player much longer,
Yeah.
to be honest.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's an outside chance I doubt it happens, but if you want to go to a place where you're not the guy and it will flourish, perfect team. He's been here before.
Perfect team is a bit of
Like
a
you
stretch.
said, Colorado. He'll probably go to Colorado.
In order for Hall to go back to the Oilers, you guys are going to have to drop someone that you're not going to want to drop.
Which will be Nugent Hopkins if they have to. I wouldn't want to drop
Yeah.
him. Nuge is versatile.
Well, I mean, and you think about it, obviously, McDavid, Draisaitl, they're protected. They're not going anywhere.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Second chance.
I think the way that Hall was kind of
Treated.
the way Hall was treated in Edmonton, I
Oh,
would want to
brutal.
go back.
I was his biggest fan, but people call him a cancer for no reason.
Yep, I wouldn't go. I wouldn't even want to go back.
But
Think about it.
he loved it here, dude. He was fully settled in, and we just shipped him off.
Yep,
Um,
without any warning too, right? Just shipped him off to New Jersey of all places.
Josh, you've missed the new system of you have to put up your hand before talking. Go on, Justin.
I mean, I saw Tyler doing it, so I started. I think you guys just touched. That sounds weird. I can't say that. I saw Tyler doing it, so I started doing it. Sorry, I think that kind of plays into why Taylor Hall hasn't been playing as good as he should, and I think it's based off the fact that since he came into the NHL, people have always called him the shitty player.
Yeah.
Like people have always gone after him, trying to kick his ass, saying he's like you said, he's the cancer of the team.
Mhm.
But as a player, like even I'm nowhere close to NHL. I'm a tier 5 player. But when I go in the dressing room and someone tells me that I'm a fucking cancer on the team, yeah, that I don't play as good for a couple of games. I guarantee it. Because I'm sitting there going, why the hell am I doing this? Why am I putting in effort if everyone's just going to call me shit?
Exactly.
And I think it's kind of going through his head now. And
He's been on nothing but shit teams, so he's probably just like, fuck it.
get moved.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, if you're going to keep moving, that's going to add stress. Like, you can't just expect athletes to be okay with moving cities every 2 years.
Yeah.
They got families. They have friends. Like, they have a life. That sucks when you get traded.
Mm-hmm. And he was just settling down in Edmonton, too. I'll never forgive Shirley, dude. Ever.
I think if Hall was to not get traded by Chiarelli, you'd still have him.
I cried.
If he didn't make that trade, you'd still have him, and you'd have the team that you have now plus Taylor Hall. Go ahead.
Tyler.
I cried when that trade happened.
Aw.
I did.
Aw. That's so sad.
Wait,
It was
Justin.
right after my grad, dude, and I saw the rumblings. I'm like, they're definitely going to trade somebody. Hall got traded. I cried for a couple hours.
Aw.
Think about it this way, though. Through my teens, so 2010, I was in 13 or whatever. Right there through my teen, or since he got drafted, so 2010, that's 6 years. 12 through 18. My teenagers, star player, our number one guy, gets moved. I couldn't live with it. I was so sad. Mike, go ahead.
I have a question, Justin. How does it feel that Jerome McGinley went from the Flames to the Pens?
What do you mean?
Well, it must have been pretty nice for you. You had your best player on.
Beautiful trade, man. Until they freaking sent him to Boston.
Yeah, it was a pretty solid trade. You must have been pretty happy.
I was happy when I loved Jerome in Pittsburgh. I thought he was a great player in Pittsburgh. I thought he fit in with the line. He had chemistry with Crosby. Like, I thought he was a perfect fit for the lineup. I don't know why they got rid of him.
Josh?
Absolutely in agreement. I had to make sure my mic was working. No, I know Tyler's saying. That's how I was with Super Soft.
What in the fuck is going on with his microphone?
Did it just not work at all?
It's really muffled.
Why don't you connect your AirPods?
What
They
about?
don't work.
They work at mine.
Let me ask you guys about a hypothetical that's recently been going through my mind a lot. Evgeny Malkin is currently 33 years old, and he is an unrestricted free agent in 2022.
Okay.
Do you think he retires at 35, or do you think he re-signs with the Pens or moves?
I think he re-signs with the Pens.
He's re-signing or retiring.
I think he's gonna play one last contract. I think he thinks he has one more contract in him, and I think that's what he's gonna do.
Sweet.
I think if you win the cup these next 2 years or before his contract's up, he bolts.
Yeah.
He's already said stuff about like missing his family way too much and whatnot. He's lonely over here. I think he still loves to play. As long as he wants to play, I think he will. But once he's more satisfied, he'll bolt back.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there was that whole issue in the offseason between like him and Phil Kessel.
Yeah.
And I know
Well, Kessel's not there.
it was mentioned a couple of times that if the Penguins decided to keep Phil Kessel on the roster, that Malkin had no problems cutting his contract and going back to Russia.
Yeah.
And I think once they, well, not once, but if they get a cup within the next 2 years, I think he's done.
Well, that's the thing. It's like it's not really retiring for him. I think he'll just go play in the KHL. I think that's what he'll do.
Oh, yeah.
Just pull a Kovalchuk, come back when you're 38, and suck major ass.
But yeah, it's either
He had a stretch there. He had a bit of a stretch.
I don't think he's been with the Penguins his entire.
Yeah.
He's only been with the Penguins.
Mm-hmm.
Why go play 1 year at a place and not retire in the place that you started in, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, he's going to get retired in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, and he's got his cup.
Him and Crosby are going to get retired in Pittsburgh, and I honestly wouldn't be surprised if Fleury at the end of the day signs a day-long contract with the Penguins just to retire in Pittsburgh.
Yeah,
Depending on how long he lasts with Vegas.
I can see that too.
Josh?
2 things. First thing, how crazy is it that we're starting to see starting to see might be a bit of a stretch, but we're about to see the beginning of the exit of Crosby, Ovechkin, Malkin. Don't get Tavares in there, but all these guys are beginning to make their exit out of the league. How crazy is that?
Yeah, no, it's definitely crazy to see some of the most generational players I think we've seen in a long time just start to retire. I think we grew up on these players. It's probably the same way that the 50, 60-year-old people are thinking about Gretzky retiring or something. I think it's definitely been that kind of a thing for us. We've been blessed with these players that have been so great. I think they've done a fantastic job. Tyler, you had your hand up?
No, I didn't. I was stretching.
Justin?
I think obviously it's sad that these, to some people, legends are gonna leave the league and you're not gonna be able to watch them play and stuff like that. But at the same time, me personally, I constantly look forward to, yeah, maybe Crosby's gonna retire this year, but who's next?
Not this year.
Who's gonna be the next guy?
Yeah.
Who's gonna be the next guy on the Penguins? Like when Crosby and Malkin leave, who's gonna be their goal getter?
Yeah.
Against them.
Okay, Tyler, what was that? Are you actually going to talk this time?
I'm just fucking with the thing.
Okay, but
Tyler's just gonna raise his hand.
it's just like with the NBA with LeBron James. Like once LeBron retires, it's not going to be the same in the NBA at all. Like it's going to be such a different league.
Sorry.
I think LeBron waits enough and he plays with his kid.
What are you doing there, Justin?
Don't-
Dude, your face is clipping into the Golden Gate Bridge.
man.
Did you hear me, Mike?
What'd you say?
I think LeBron plays at least till he gets to play 1 year of Bronny.
I don't think that's going to be enough time. I think his body's going to shut down.
I think he'll play regardless.
Okay, Gold.
The bench
Are
player.
you referencing that Golden State beat them 3 times? Are you referencing that right now with your backdrop?
Hey, Mike, can I ask you an off-topic question?
What up?
Where do you think Cleveland is gonna be this year for the NFL? Where do you think they're gonna finish?
Okay, so there's 17 games now, so I got to think about it now.
You do those backgrounds.
It's the little arrow above the stop video, beside the stop video thing.
Okay.
Justin, we're gonna do a football podcast pretty soon,
Yeah.
by the way. Yeah.
Where shoot me a text, I'll jump on.
Podcast is out of this world, boys.
Oh my god, shut up. So it's not 16 games, 17 games. I can see them going.
I can touch
I
up
can
my
see them winning 8
opinions.
games.
I was gonna say 9 and 8. That's
Yeah.
my- yeah.
That's what I'm thinking. 8-9. I don't think Baker's ready.
Not. He's not. How do you think about what do you think?
God.
What do you think about the whole Tom Brady situation?
Honestly, I don't think the Bucs make the playoffs.
I don't either.
I think it's been overblown. I think obviously they got their offense, but their defense is still awful.
Yeah. Well, depending. I think they'll have a chance depending on how their draft goes. If they draft really good defensive players, they're going to have a chance. Don't ever do that again, Tyler. Yeah, what's
I
up, Tyler?
missed it. Sorry. What was he doing?
He was
Don't worry about it.
summoning the god of
Germany. What's up, Tyler?
Holy moly.
Do you think Brady leaving was more of Belichick's decision or Tom Brady's?
Tom Brady's. Tom Brady knew that he was leaving at the beginning of last season or something.
Okay, and then follow-up question. Do you think he went there because Tampa Bay is hosting the Super Bowl? And he wants to try and be the first team to play as the host?
I never really thought about that.
Sure, he's
Yes.
got, but he's been declining. I'll give you that.
Oh, yeah.
I'm
I
going to
just-
say – sorry, go.
I don't think he has the targets in wide receivers that he had in New England.
Obviously, Mike Evans is unreal, and I think he'll get his catches. But other than that, I don't think Chris Goodwin's as good as people say he is.
No.
And
I think Goodwin drops a lot. He drops a lot for
a second option.
Right.
I definitely think he wanted to get that TB12 TB as well. I think he wanted that. Too bad he's not going to be number
I
12.
didn't even think of that.
I don't think they'll be a contender until that defense gets better. There's just no way. The offense can only do so much.
Well, because when they won the Super Bowl, their defense led them to that Super Bowl.
Yeah.
That's what they need. But Bruce Arians is a very good coach, so who knows?
Yeah, it's gonna be weird to see him on a different team. To be honest, I'm just so used to seeing him on New England in the blue and white. It's gonna be weird to see him run out there in a red jersey. It's gonna be.
Oh, yeah.
All right, I just thought of a new topic on the spot. Here's an idea, gentlemen. Athletes in different uniforms. Who would be one athlete from any sport, doesn't matter, that you'd be thrown off by it if they showed up in a different uniform? For example, Tom Brady in a Buccaneers jersey, right?
Oh, your mic is tits, buddy.
Okay. Did you hear what I said, though?
I'm going to go with Drew Brees in any other jersey. I think him in any other city outside of New Orleans at this point is going to be weird. I know he was in a San Diego Chargers jerseys for a couple of years, but I think that him in a different jersey is going to be super weird.
I personally, for me, it would be Aaron Rodgers. Seeing Rodgers, for me, as a Packers fan, seeing Rodgers in a different jersey would destroy me. But at the same time, I'm ready for him to go.
Another player would be Ovechkin. I think he'd be weird in any other jersey. Crosby, Malkin,
McDavid.
Yep.
David.
Draisaitl. There's those players.
Mm.
It's really just the stars.
Yeah.
Like the star players in every league, like Steph Curry, LeBron James. It's always weird seeing those guys in New jerseys. Not so much with LeBron James because he's fucking moving around every goddamn season.
Yeah, he goes everywhere.
So, but like if Curry was to just get up and go to like Houston or something like that, then yeah, that'd be kind of like a what the like that's weird.
Yep.
Even Kyle Lowry right now, in my eyes,
Yeah,
if I see
right.
Kyle Lowry in a different jersey, I'm going to be so spooked.
Well, I mean, he
Correct
was
me if I'm. Sorry.
Josh.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Wasn't he supposed to be traded to the Knicks?
Yeah, he was actually supposed to be traded to Knicks in 2013.
Oh,
Stop giving the camera the finger, Tyler.
You didn't let me speak.
Well, you
So
put your hand
raise
down.
hand.
You put your hand down.
I said, wasn't Lowry on Houston? So he wasn't a different jersey initially, anyways.
Oh, yeah, but, like, obviously, like... if
Well,
a-
if we're going by hypotheticals.
But hypotheticals, yes, you can technically see Kyle Lowry in a Memphis and a Houston jersey. But the fact that he's played for the Raptors for so long, I would say... Obviously, you could see Kyle Lowry in a Villanova jersey. That doesn't mean he's in a different jersey.
Can I go with a coach?
Yes.
John Gibbons.
I thought for a second there, when you said that, the only thing that came to my mind was Greg Gibbos.
He'd be weird.
Greg
in a different-
Gibbles now coaching for the State Trojans.
Yeah. No, I have another player. Under the radar, Dirk Nowitzki.
Well, he's not coming back. He's gone. So
Well, like, if he were to be in another jersey, that'd be weird.
I gotcha.
turn off your background, dude.
Let me ask you
In
this.
space.
Let's take this topic one step further. Who is, for any player, any sport, what would be the weirdest jersey change to get used to? Personally, mine would be McDavid in a Flames jersey.
I hate it.
Welcome to Bizarro World, folks.
Mine would be
Or Crosby in a Capitals jersey. That would fuck my brain up.
Yeah.
obviously he was
Or-
retired. Obviously he's retired and everything. I'm gonna go with Kobe in a Celtics jersey.
You know what would be? I'm gonna add to Justin's. Crosby in an Anaheim Ducks jersey.
Why?
I don't know. Just the first one thought that came to my head.
Tyler, go.
Why didn't we say Kobe initially?
I thought about it. I just
Like a player in a different jersey. If you think of Kobe Bryant, you think Lakers. Any other jersey
Did he
doesn't.
play for the Celtics?
no.
he-
It'd be
Right.
super weird to see that.
New
He's a
basketball
Laker,
fan here, boys. New bandwagon fan here.
Who else would be weird in a different uniform?
Tyler still needs to tell us his weirdest.
Oh, what?
What's your weirdest?
I
Weirdest
have one.
ever?
Tyler Verloop in anything other than Tabor Golden Suns gear.
Tyler, you're not. Where did you go, Tyler?
Hey.
What's your answer?
For what?
Weirdest jersey swap.
Oh, Ragnar Odor in a Blue Jays uniform.
Man, you just recently watched that series clincher win, didn't you?
Mm-hmm.
God damn it. What other one?
Tiger King not wearing leather.
Oh God, here we go.
Hey, here we go. We started it. Oh,
All right, Josh, you can go into that.
Okay.
The mic, bye.
okay. Holy moly, Tiger King. So for anybody who's been living under a rock, which is everybody in the world, Tiger King is the craziest thing I've ever seen in my life. And I've seen a lot of crazy stuff. Like, holy moly. Okay. I don't even know how to describe it. It's insane.
It's just so like the guy is just so crazy. Like he is straight up if cocaine was a person. Like,
oh no, not
if meth was a person,
there you go.
Tiger King.
There you go. There you go. Okay. How far along are you into it, Justin?
I just finished the second episode. I'll be watching the third and fourth tonight.
Oh my god! If you can, just finish it tonight because it's so good.
Yeah,
it's unreal. Yeah, it's insane. But where? So what? I forget what happens in episode 2. Where are you at right now? What happens?
Well, I don't want to ruin it for the other two. But
Tyler's seen episode 2, haven't you?
No, Mike hasn't even seen it though. I don't think.
Oh yeah, okay.
I'm at the place where they're talking about the husband of Carol Back.
Of Carol? Okay, yeah. So like, and the Tigers too?
Well, they're like her Tigers, but like the last thing I saw was Tiger King went into her park.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, for the first time.
Okay, I'll keep my mouth shut then.
It's pretty crazy though. It's a good show.
It's insane. It's nuts.
It's not as good as NHL hockey, but
not as good as NHL hockey. But you got to do what you got to do.
8:00. I still have to cook dinner, so I'm gonna end it here. I'm gonna get it here. But for the last thing, I just want to say that if the NHL playoffs come back, the Penguins are winning the cup. That's my prediction.
Okay.
All right. We
all can be wrong sometimes.
Are we done talking Tiger King?
Yes, we can. We're wrapping it up now.
Tiger King.
All right, so I'm going to do this outro here. Thank you guys for watching. Obviously, if you want to subscribe, actually watch this, please.
Do it!
Do it.
Hit the notification bell. You'll probably see me and Justin within the next couple of days with an NFL podcast here. And, yeah, if you guys want to join it as well, feel free. Tyler, you have the last words.
We've been taking an entrepreneurship and freelance class this entire semester, and this is probably the only place we're going to put it to use, so subscribe.
That's not true. I can think of another one. At least for me. Mike, do you want to do a wrestling one?
Yeah, I can do one.
After WrestleMania? Okay.
Yeah, let's do it up.
I also can watch wrestle. Like, do you have a way of watching it?
No.
Okay, well, I have the network, so if you want to do a Zoom, we can do something. Okay.
All right,
that goes for you boys too. Like, one thing, I had an idea. This is just for us. Just for something to do, boys. Let's go back to some Royal Rumble where I don't know what happens. You guys don't know what happens. Let's draw numbers. You guys pick a guy. We'll all pick a dude, and we'll like bet on it.
I heard about this. Yes.
Yeah. Let's do it. Okay.
I don't have money, but I'll bet like.
Yeah, we can like play drinking games with it or something. Like your guy gets elimination, take a shot, something. Anyways, just ideas, but for another time.
And Justin.
Like all YouTube channels always say, if you like it, be sure to like it.
End it there.
All right, we will see you guys all later.
Bye, everybody. Wash your hands. Stay inside.
Touch your dick.
You done recording?